Hi everybody, welcome to this quick 9 general wind direction playthrough for the division and dates shown on screen right now. All 9 holes, timestamps in the description down below. Please hit thumbs up and make sure you subscribe to the channel. Remember to check out our channel homepage, there is daily quick 9 content available for multiple divisions. Please remember some of these replays may be from the time before Playdemic changed the attribute levels. The object on this par 4 is to get within short iron range because you have got a very good chance for a drop. We're going with 5.8 top spin, 3 right spin with APOC 5 plus, top of plus 10, APOC 5 and 6 you'll have the red ring touching the rough. APOC 4 you'd need to be at P6 max rest. This obviously would work in tailwind angles and level crosswind. In headwind angle I would suggest you set up with quarterback and then do a club switch and go with full overpower, so you've got a slow needle in headwind. Adjustment is max plus 10 here. Regardless of the wind angle, we want to get over the rough and down the next fairway. If you have tailwind and want to put a berserker on, you could try and blast to get into green, near the green, or rather into wedge range, but I like the short iron. It's a very good chance for a drop, and that will work very nicely there. Drive distance around 375 yards. If you can obviously push that with more topspin, do so because you'll have less rings from min. Here, if you are near a min distance, you can count up rings from min. I had a couple of attempts with the same drive here, and I'm going to give you a tweaked adjustment. This was just a quick miss in the video, very small amount of distance from the cup. It gives you an idea though. You want to play with backspin, little bit of side spin. There are some glitchy areas on the green here, so scrub your target around over the ground, find a consistent landing position. Any hint of a glitch, then add some spin and find somewhere else to land. But general elevation here, minus 15% is what I would go with. If you can count rings from min, it's 1% slider every ring you are up from min. Just a small miss here, misestimating the club distance, but still a very good chance. If you get straight tailwind on this par 5, I would be very tempted to put a berserker on and blast it to try and get to wedge range. But if you can't do that, you will need a layup option, and that's what we've got here. We're setting up with the rock, white ring touching the rough at the plus yard shown. Then I switch to APOC because there is some headwind to deal with here. 5.8 top spin, 3 bars left spin. Ignore the fact that I'm using a precision ball here. This will work with a Kingmaker. I was just using a precision ball just to speed up the content creation process. So once we've switched to APOC, we adjust max plus 5. I go with full overpower. Now you can see the precision does help here. It is a bit of a shakier needle. You could set up further back if you have more top spin available. That will obviously give you a smoother needle if you wanted to play with APOC 7 or above, or APOC 6 even, or extra mile 9. But I believe you've got a great either side, and we get down the fairway over the rough. Second shot, I'm going to play with sniper. We are into sniper range here. Obviously, if you have more direct headwind off the tee, I would actually pack the Cataclysm or Big Dog just to make sure that you're going to reach for your eagle. But if possible, the sniper gives you a good chance for an albatross here with a free-to-play ball. A little bit of top spin and 3 right spin will vary depending on your drive though. Here I'm estimating my club distance to be around 70% because I'm just out of plus yards with sniper 10. I'm having the ball guide to the hole. Here I'm going to adjust true club distance with 25% elevation, so it is going to be quite a few rings, but leave yourself plenty of time to do this and you'll be fine. If you don't drop this one though, you'll have an easy putt for the eagle. This was coming in very hot, so I would actually take the top spin off if I was to play this wind angle again. Bear in mind, if you adjust in the opposite direction up the hill, you will gain distance on your landing position, so you might want to apply a couple of clicks of underpower to compensate. But if you can't send it, there's still a good chance for the drop. This is a very tough par 3 for free-to-play balls if you don't want a rough bump. In any tailwind, I will be going with the Cataclysm, or you could play with the Guardian as well here. With Cat 6, I'm having the blue ring touching the rough on the left at the top of plus 10. Any headwind angle here, then I'd be playing quarterback from the minimum distance line, and then obviously you're going to stick with your driver there. It's only a wood club for tailwind angle. Spin as shown there, this is going to vary greatly depending on your wind angles, so this is more of a safe route to the green, so you know what club range you'll be in and what you might need to pack in your bag. Obviously sniper is not going to reach here from third tee. Adjustment here, max plus 10. And then because we have tailwind, I'm going with just before circle break under power. The spins are going to vary dramatically depending on the wind angle that you have. And obviously here with the spin added, you could see my ball guide was offset considerably left of where it actually ends up due to the elevation. Small tweak needed, we'd actually have had a good chance for the hole in one. Please do join us over on Facebook. We have an ever-growing community of players there, over 16,000 members. Head over to Facebook, search for BK Golf Clash and submit your member request there. Free to join, there are free guides posted, lots of shot sharing and discussion points. You can chat and interact with me as well, and loads more over on Facebook. So head over there and search for BK Golf Clash. Any form of tailwind here, we can play NMT with APOC 5 and above. So load the hole with your Kingmaker. Then we add spin, 5.8 top spin, and we're going to go with 2 bars of side spin to the right in this wind angle. If you have wind going from right to left, then I would actually play with all 3 bars of side spin as a suggestion, because the wind is obviously going to push you closer to the rough. This is a bit of a tight line on the drive though, so I would encourage a practice token regardless of the wind angle you have. If you have headwind, I will play out to the right hand side and leave yourself a long distance approach, because you're not going to make that over here with an NMT shot unless you have tailwind. Adjustment was max plus 10, slow needle, full overpower, just missing the rough there on the right, so we could adjust it more or just move the landing position half a ring if you're worried about that. But we get a good rollout, 433 yards. This is going to be a no spin shot with the thorn here, so I'm counting up rings from min. It's 1% slider per ring from min. I'm 22 rings up from min here, and because I have crosswind going from left to right, I offset the ball guide to point just at the left edge of the cup. I do the opposite if the wind was in the opposite direction. Straight tailwind leaves the tip of the ball guide slightly short of the hole, but you can still play the same adjustment, and that is rings from min with 5% elevation, pulling over the bullseye. Ignore the fact that I did a ball swap here. That's just to speed up getting the shots ready here for the channel. Regular Kingmaker will work fine. I was just hitting a load of great balls on the day. Dropping it nicely for the eagle. If you don't fancy the rough bump, then just play safely onto the green with backspin. I would use the Guardian really, because you're going to have some distance. If you've got a horrendous headwind, then play minimum distance with a driver with a load of backspin. But if you want to have a go for it, then you could have a go with this here. I set up with spin added, 3 top spin and 3 right spin, a ball guide as shown. Then I reduce 1 bar of side spin and respin to 2 bars of right spin instead, because the wind angle is going to kind of effectively push the ball to the right, so I don't need all the full 3 bars of spin. It was only just to set up the shot. In a ring, touching the rough at +3 with our sniper. I have room to adjust in this wind strength and wind angle, but obviously heavy headwind, you're not going to have room to adjust, in which case I will go with a driver. Adjustment is mid +15, power 6 numbers, and then we are going to centre the ball and hit perfect. Some wind angles you would just lower down, some wind angles you would just higher up, so you will need to take a token because there isn't much room for error here. A couple of clicks of curl, or maybe a bit less right spin, we'd have got that one in for the hole in one. Now, although you can support us financially on Patreon, you can also join as a free member. If you do that, you will get bonus master level text guide content from the Coalition. They produce text guides for free every tournament, free to play balls, and we send those out when they do so. And they very kindly agreed to let me share their archives of all the courses used in this season of Quick Nines for you all to use, because there may be some wind angles that you get as part of the Quick Nines that they have in their archive. So you will receive those if you join us as a free member on our Patreon. A very long par 5 here. I'm just looking for a safe eagle in the free-to-play market here, really. 5.8 top spin and 3 right spin. This is NMT with APOC 5 and above. There's a little bit of tailwind here, but not very much. Obviously, this hole gets a little bit easier if you do have more tailwind. In headwind, it is very difficult indeed. You can try and get over there, or you can try and swing the ball round to the left. In either case, though, in headwind, please make sure you pack the big dog or the cataclysm. Here we can get away with the sniper. Max +10, full overpower. It's a bit of a shaky needle. Do the best you can, and we're going with outer wall curl to the right, just to go against the wind angle that we have. Just missing the rough, if you're worried about that, then obviously play with 3/4 ball or half a ball of curl instead. All depends what wind angle you have. With the tailwind on the second shot, we can use the sniper, but as I said, in other wind angles, think about the design of the hole. It is a bit of a dog leg, so if you want to make sure you're going to get there without overpower, pack the big dog or the cataclysm. Always going to play with 3 bars of left spin here. You might need to vary the top spin depending on how far you are away from the green. But bear in mind here, we don't want to overdo the top spin because the tailwind is going to push us further on than is indicated by the ball guide. Adjustment here is going to be maximum distance, 0 elevation, and that is what I would play in all wind angles. Going to use some curl then to swing the ball round with our 3 left spin. I'm going with 3/4 ball curl to the left, no overpower here, make sure you haven't got any inadvertent overpower or underpower. We're bouncing very cleanly away from the rough and rolling down. You can put a bit more top spin on if you like, but we're just putting for the eagle on this long and tricky par 5. Any form of tailwind, we can use the sniper. We are going to set up at the top of +9 yards here, and I'm looking at the ball guide before spin. Going to point that one at the hole. It is quite far away, so zoom in and look if you have time. Then we add spin. Here I'm going with 1.2 backspin, and in the end we're going to use some left spin because the wind is going left to right. I settle on 1 bar of side spin to the left. If you've got wind from right to left, obviously you would then use right spin to offset the other side of pin to counter the wind effect. Adjustment here is going to be medium distance, 20% elevation, power 6 numbers. There are other shots you can play here. You can set up on the next fairway pad with backspin, a load more backspin. In headwind, you can also play driver rough bump. Very good chance there. But obviously, take a token or two you might need to tweak or apply some overpower, depending on how you set up the shot. But you've got options here. We're going with just before circle break underpower in tailwind angle, otherwise we are going to have the second bounce in the rough. Little bit of a tweak needed here, but it gives you an option to work with. On this par 4, you can absolutely in straight tailwind send this one with a berserker, but you might not have tailwind all the time. So here is a shot with a little bit of headwind, mainly crosswind. We're setting up at P0 max rest with our APOC, and we're going to add spin. We are going to go with 5.5 to 5.8 top spin and 2 right spin. We'll be conscious of using too much top spin here as this is a layup shot, so that's why it looked a bit light on the top spin. Obviously, if you have level crosswind, I'd reduce that down to 5 bars, as we don't want to roll in the rough. So setting up with the ring reference as shown for your club level there, 5 and 6, obviously APOC is going to be the same. And we adjust here max plus 10. If you have a lot of headwind, then again I would set up with the rock or the quarterback and then do a club switch, take a token, find out what works nicely. Bit of curl here to take ourselves away from both the rough on the left and also the rough on the right, because it is very easy to clip the rough on both sides. The good thing about headwind though is you can play from the min line with our sniper. Make sure you have the grizzly in your bag. So from the min line, adding 5 backspin and 1 bar of side spin to the left. And I'm using the left spin so that I'm not adjusting into the stone pillar of that structure there, because that is going to really be difficult and would mess up the adjustment. So that's why I'm using the left spin, so I can set up in the middle of the fairway. Ball guide as shown there. We've got to push rings, otherwise that structure would be in the way. And we're going to play min plus 25. Min distance, 25 elevation. Obviously, if you have tailwind, as I said at the beginning of the drive video, then you should absolutely look at sending this one. Always use a token if you can. Get some personal tweaks and shots dialed in. But as a general approach, this one works very nicely playing from min sniper. And here we actually get the drop for the eagle. If you are enjoying the free content here on the channel and want to help out and keep everything free, then please consider making a small donation. All donations are gratefully received and help me out here on the channel, as all of the content here is produced for free in my own spare time. You can do that in one of 3 ways. You can hit the thanks button here on YouTube, you can make a PayPal donation via the link in the description down below, or you can also join us over on Patreon. Details at the end of the video. On this par 5, we're going to go with a Kingmaker and we're going to play APOC Sniper. P6 max rest with APOC 5 and 6 red ring touching the rough. APOC 4 you would need to stretch out 1.7 rings. You'd have 20% of the red ring inside the rough. Adding spin, 5.8 top spin and 3 left spin. And with APOC 4, after you adjust, you would have to push up 1.7 rings to compensate for lack of distance. If you've got Extra Mile 9, Thor's Hammer 6+, you could play with those drivers, gives you more top spin if you don't have APOC 6 and above. If you do have APOC 6 and above, play with more top spin, you'll get more distance on your drive. I would recommend you go with as much top spin as possible if you don't have tailwind. Full overpower, it is a slow needle, and we're going to focus on hitting perfect, and we want to bounce beautifully away from the rough. Obviously you're not going to get this drive distance if you have any form of headwind. If you do have that, get as far down as you can, or you could play on the right side. In both of those cases, in headwind though, pack the big dog or the Cataclysm, and for free to play, just try and get safely to green for your eagle. Second shot though, here in this wind angle, we're going to play with a decent amount of backspin, around 5 bars, and also a little bit of right spin to try and align the ball guide with the wind. Tip of the ball guide about 5 green squares short, and I'm offsetting to the right, as that was what was working in my practice attempt in this wind angle. We are then going to play true club distance, 10% elevation. So +2 was shown for Sniper 10. I play that one 75% slider. Going to pull twice over the bullseye here, predominantly looking for a free to play eagle. Ignore the precision. Like I said, this is just to speed up the content creation process, but this will work absolutely fine with a Kingmaker. Small tweak needed. We're just finishing short in line, so remove a couple of clicks of backspin and we'd have got that one in for the Albatross. Thanks very much for watching this video here on the channel. If it has helped you in any way, please consider sharing it amongst your friends and clanmates in the game. Join us also on Facebook. Head over there, search for BK Golf Clash and join our free group. Loads of members there sharing shots. Free guides are posted, as well as loads of other great Golf Clash resources. So check us out there. You can join in the discussion and also leave feedback on the game in general. Finally, if you wish to help support the channel and keep the content free for everybody, please consider becoming a Patreon member. The link is in the video description down below. Good luck, see you soon, bye for now.